Welcome to A Slice with Dice, where we explore the real-life experiences of school leadership. I'm Corey Alderdice, Executive Director of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I'm a seasoned school administrator of specialized programs and will share personal reflections, lessons learned, and insights from the ever-evolving world of education. Whether you're a teacher, leader, parent, or simply passionate about schools, join me as we dive into the challenges and triumphs of guiding schools and shaping our communities. Here's this week's thought. We're diving into the evolving world of school choice with a specific focus on where Arkansas stands in this movement and how it might be leading the way for other states. School choice is something we've heard a lot about lately, especially as more states roll out public funding options for private schooling. But what does this really mean for Arkansas? Well, a recent report by Future Ed gives us some insight, and we're going to break it down. First, let's take a look at the national landscape. According to the Future Ed report, there's been a massive increase in states passing legislation to support public funding of private schools. Between 2020 and 2023 alone, 15 states passed or expanded programs like school vouchers and educational savings accounts. The number of students using publicly funded private school options also nearly doubled, going from around 266,000 to more than 516,000 young people nationwide. That's a huge leap, and it shows just how quickly things are moving. Now, Arkansas, as you might guess, is part of this trend, but it's not just jumping on the bandwagon. There are a few things that make our approach stand out. So, how exactly does Arkansas fit into this picture? Well, in early 2023, the state passed the LEARNS Act, which, among other things, introduced education freedom accounts for families. These accounts allow parents to use public funds to pay for private school tuition, homeschooling expenses, or other educational programs. Now, Arkansas isn't the first state to do this, but what sets it apart is how quickly it's scaling up. The state launched this program with the goal of full implementation in 2025, and by doing so, it's moving at a pace that puts it ahead of many other states still in the earlier stages of their initiatives. One of the most important data points from the Future Ed report is that Arkansas's program is set to provide funding to about 90% of its K-12 students by 2025. That's massive. And by comparison, states like Arizona and Florida, which have had these types of programs for a longer time, are seeing similar numbers, but Arkansas is catching up quickly. The LEARNS Act positions the state as a major player in the school choice movement. But it's not just the speed of the rollout that's interesting. The way Arkansas has structured its program includes some key accountability measures that other states often overlook. For instance, Arkansas requires private schools participating in the EFA program to meet certain standards of accountability, ensuring that public funds are being used appropriately. And this is where Arkansas might actually be leading the way for other states. In the Future Ed report, one of the major criticism of other states' programs is that they don't always have strong accountability frameworks. Arkansas's approach strikes a balance between giving the families the freedom to choose and making sure that the choice still comes with some level of oversight. Now, another area where Arkansas stands out is in prioritizing access for low-income families and students with special needs. In the LEARNS Act, students from families earning less than 200% of the federal poverty level are given priority for educational freedom accounts. Now, the Future Ed report highlights this as a critical factor for ensuring that school choice programs benefit a broader population and not just wealthy families. By focusing on equity, Arkansas is making sure that the program reaches students who might benefit most from having more educational options. Now, let's talk about how Arkansas compares to other states when it comes to overall student participation. The Future Ed report shows that, on average, about 6% of students are enrolled in private schools through public funding. Now, Arkansas is aiming for significantly higher participation rates. This year alone, the state did reach its 3% cap, according to a recent statement by the Arkansas Department of Education. But by 2025, nearly 90% of Arkansas students could be eligible and have access to the EFAs. To put that in perspective, states like Florida are seeing around about 10% of their student population utilizing such programs. Of course, it's still early days. The report points out that while Arkansas is off to a strong start, the long-term impact of these programs is still unknown. There's a lot to consider. Will these programs improve student outcomes? Will they reshape the landscape in Arkansas? And perhaps the biggest question of all, how will traditional public schools adapt to this new reality? Those are the questions we'll need to keep an eye on as these programs grow. So where does this leave Arkansas in the grand scheme of things? The state is clearly part of the national movement, but it's not just following the pack. Arkansas is setting itself apart by emphasizing accountability and equity in its program while rapidly expanding access. If things continue on this path, Arkansas could become an interesting model for other states looking to implement or expand their own school choice initiatives. So to wrap things up, it's clear that Arkansas is a key player in the new wave of public funding for private schooling. The LEARNS Act is ambitious, and the state's focus on both access and accountability could help shape the future of school choice not just here, but across the country. School choice is evolving quickly, and Arkansas is right in the middle of it. As always, I'll be keeping an eye on how this develops, and I encourage you to do the same.
A Slice with Dice is a production of the Arkansas School for Mathematics, Sciences, and the Arts. I hope today's reflection sparked some thoughts for your own journey. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Let's keep learning and leading together. Until next time, keep striving for growth and excellence. Thanks for tuning in.